There are some moments in life that we simply can't believe our eyes, but thanks to cameras, sometimes we get to record these unbelievable moments. During the early stages of a volcanic eruption, occasionally there's this mysterious phenomenon called volcanic lighting that is not from an ordinary thunderstorm, but from the eruption itself. And it's absolutely spectacular and terrifying at the same time. With so many technological advances happening in the past decade, we really have no clue what working in the future will look like. In Japan during the pandemic, some grocery staff were able to work from home by controlling a robot with VR technology. Despite the weird and terrifying appearance, ground-to-cloud lightnings are not uncommon, and it's a discharge between a cloud and ground initiated by an upward-moving leader. An incredible demonstration of skill by James Jean is curving an arrow to hit a balloon. And if it wasn't impressive enough, he can also do it with 2 arrows at a time. This ice cream man from Turkey likes to test his customers' patience by pulling some incredible tricks that could be frustrating for the ice cream receiver. This is an incredible color-changing squid. This happens when it contracts the chromatophores, which limits the amount of pigment visible. Over 188,000 bikes were reported to be stolen each year in the United States, which the real number is probably more than twice that, since most people don't report bike thefts. The company Yurka decided to address this problem by making a lock-equipped bike. Even though it's pretty known that camera shutter being at the same speed as helicopter blades causes this, it still is mind-blowing to see. In Punta del Este, Uruguay, due to a cyclone, gusts of winds of over 60 miles per hour flooded the city with sea foam, and even caused waves between 15 and 20 feet. And well, the reason why this happens is because the ocean water is not fully clear. And if you put ocean water in a glass and shake it, small bubbles will form on the surface of the liquid, and sea foams form under similar conditions, but on a much bigger scale. This brave fireman is using water as a shield to turn off the tank in an amazing training drill. Emus are the second largest living bird by height, after the ostrich, and apparently if you lie on the ground and move your legs, they'll approach out of curiosity, and there isn't really any explanation for why. Back in 1983, Rick Charles did a record-breaking dive viewed by millions of people on ABC Wide World of Sports, in which he did a world record dive of 172 feet. And even though he was in the air for around 5 seconds, he went to say that it felt much longer.
I'm sure he's not hurt. All right. To be nervous too, Diana. He punched through, and I'm sure because right here he kicks through and...
This terrifying clip shows an orca quickly catching up to a motorboat. Despite weighing around 6,000 to 8,000 pounds, they can still swim at 35 miles per hour. A hilarious and very unexpected moment in space happened when astronaut Mark Kelly once smuggled a full gorilla suit without telling anyone about it, and one day decided to surprise everyone. Tesla coil is an electrical resonant transformer circuit that was designed by none other than Nikola Tesla. And well, even though nowadays the main use is for entertainment and displays, before it had uses from radio to medical equipment. Roberto Durant is a legendary former professional boxer who held world championships in 4 weight classes. But when he was fighting Sugar Ray Leonard, an unbelievable moment happened when he just gave up mid-fight due to his frustration of not being able to land punches. A very bizarre moment caught on tape is a school of fish following a duck. While diving in the sea, a Florida man found a massive fossilized megalodon tooth, and the size of it was around 6 inches. For comparison, great white shark teeth are usually at most 3 inches long, and the tooth can go for as high as $5,000. This is a video of the ship that broke global trade after it got stranded for 6 days in the Suez Canal, causing it to block one of the world's busiest shipping pathways, and halting roughly $54 billion worth of trade. And the Suez Canal Authority was desperate to clear the ship, since they were losing $15 million a day in canal revenue. Liquid blankets is a term for a chemical designed to keep heat in the pool, and it makes an awesome effect when touched. This 7th grader went into a competition against college women and completed 400 meters in under 1 minute, and it's safe to say that we'll probably see her at the Olympics in the near future. Back in March 2021, the most expensive NFT ever sold for a staggering $69.3 million. After the bidding started for just $100, this is the artist's reaction of watching the live auction.
Oh my God! 50 million! What? Oh my God! 69 million.
I think it probably means digital art is here to stay.
I'm going to Disney World!
When a dog saw his owner waiting for a delivery while eating, he brought a chair for him to be more comfortable. Even though we all have some level of fear of spiders, this nest of cobalt blue tarantulas is just straight up confusing. Former professional boxer Mike Tyson had some crazy neck exercise routines to protect from punches, and at the peak of his career his neck was 20.5 inches. A sad, unfortunate event happened in Aloha Airlines Flight 243, in which a small section of the left side of the roof ruptured. Thankfully, it was able to land safely at Kahului Airport in Maui. This incident also made the Federal Aviation Authority add more controls to planes to ensure safety.
The other 4 crew members survived, as well as all of the 89 passengers, thanks to Captain Bob Schornsteiber.
This is footage of the son of Krakatoa volcano eruption in 2018. And well, this exact place actually no longer exists, since it collapsed into the sea in a massive landslide. And well, the volcanic island emerged from the Krakatoa volcano eruption in 1883, which was so loud it was heard from over 3,000 miles away. An unbelievable stunt by a professional motorcyclist, Gary Rothwell, was one done in 1999, in which he dragged himself behind a motorcycle using titanium sole boots. Even though they're not very practical at all, since it requires a lot of energy and strength to get them going, there are some people that like their bikes to have big tires. Even though this was not the most fair race to begin with, this professional athlete managed to do an impressive 100-meter times, and didn't lose by a huge margin to a Nissan GT-R. At the Porsche Carrera Cup in France, a moment that left the commentators and everyone in the audience in disbelief happened, when in a small collide one of the racers' cars somehow ended up on top of another car. And it just shows Porsches have the best weight distribution in its class.
Et Jules Gounon qui va perdre gros au championnat cette année. Toi de Geoffrey Denarda. Alors on a bien vu que Geoffrey Denarda était piégé à l'extérieur, on a vu à l'intérieur.
Okay, even though this looks strange, thanks to the F-35's single engine, it can take off and land vertically. And well, there's also a sort of hover mode, which is possible by 2 doors that open on the top of the aircraft, and 2 counter-rotating fans blowing about 20,000 pounds of unheated air straight down. The whole F-35 program had a cost of around $1.7 trillion, so it's very impressive to see. With some cargo ships weighing over 190 metric tons, it makes them have almost no maneuverability, which makes the captain's reactions to improvised events extremely slow, causing around 1,400 lost containers at sea per year.